Hello everybody, I hope you're well. Now in this video, Clyde Sensei takes us through a series of myofascial release techniques. Now I'm sure, like me, at some point in time you've had a stiff neck, and it can be a really tricky thing to deal with and quite hard to get rid of. In this clip, Clyde shows us a fantastic and very simple way to stretch out the muscles and release all those little locked up pieces and make everything start to glide and move freely. Now I can personally recommend this, I use this a lot. Give it a go. If you find it useful, that's wonderful. Share it with your friends. As always, thank you for watching. Smash the stuff below.
Before we start, one of the major principles of bodywork is that every element of your body is made of large numbers of layers. Okay, so say you have a tendon. That tendon is made up of lots of connective tissue bundles. Like your muscle is made up of lots and lots of little muscle fibers. The muscle fibers are held in bundles, then the bundles are all held in larger bundles, which are finally held in the muscle. You know, the outer muscle sheath. And from that, there's a long tendon going down. And when I'm doing that, I mean, sometimes, yeah, you can see the tendons moving, or the tendon for that. And so that muscle is sliding through an outer, an inner sheath, the tendon, an inner sheath, an outer sheath, and then it will actually pull some of the tissue along with it as well. You know, depending on how well, I'd say oil, but it's not oil, but the fluid that's around the connective tissue. And the connective tissues get sticky and hold together so that you, and particularly with exercise and that sort of thing, and a little bit inflamed, and we're trying to change the muscle tension. We're also trying to get the connective tissue layers to separate again, because there's a little bit of stickiness in there between every layer. And so every time you do something, it's wasting energy because it takes more effort to move or not. Okay, so we're trying to encourage the connective tissue to, the layers to separate. So I'm trying to put pressure on. Now if I was doing massage, generally the massage goes towards the heart because you want to shift the blood. But depending on the way the muscles move, if the muscles move that way, I want to be shifting the tissue in the opposite direction. So I'm trying to hold the tissue so that when the tendon runs through there, the outer layers are held in the opposite direction. So it's trying to free the gluiness. It's to separate the layers in the connective tissue again. So this is a nice simple neck release. And what I'm trying to do with this one is the muscles that run down here, including the levator scapulae is one of them, and I can't remember the other one at the moment, that lift the shoulder. And also the inner neck muscles as well, the ones that are running down, through the back of the neck. I want to hold those muscles while she stretches her neck. And another government warning or whatever about these things is the pressure I put on is determined by her, and it can be in a number of ways. I'm watching to see if she flinches too much when I put the pressure on, and I'm using the bone of my elbow. Okay, not muscle, because my muscle is all softened. Okay, so we want that bone. So if she says ow, you stop. Okay, if she feels uncomfortable, she stops. And what I'm going to do is start up near the end of my forearm, and I'm going to connect to her neck reasonably high under the ear. And then I'm putting my hand, so always get comfortable, and I'm getting comfortable because she's on if I was standing I'd do this in quite a different way, but I'm resting my far arm on my knee. And I'm doing all this automatically because I've done it before, and then I'm going to grab that shoulder. Not pull it, because that, as soon as she's coming offline, she's putting extra tension. So I can match whatever pressure I'm putting in here, I will try to match with that hand, so that the pressures are equal, so I am not forcing her to distort any other part of her body to stop the pressure. Does that make sense? So one arm on the shoulder, I'm going to put that just under her knee, under her ear, what am I saying? Now she's going to put her ear straight down towards the shoulder on top of my arm, so down onto my arm. Okay. Now before she moves, I'm just adjusting my pressure, and that should feel about right, comfort-wise. I'm going to push that. Now look what's happening to her head. Did you see it turn with it? Okay. And now I'm going to ask her to turn really slowly, and the slower the better, and look over her other shoulder. And I'm holding the tissues compressed in the direction my finger is pointing. And there's a reasonable amount of push straight against her neck as well. And as she's turning, I'm now moving my hand slowly. Can you see my arm moving? See my arm is moving past her? Now I'll just finish that movement. I just want the hair out of the way because that can be nasty. And I'm touching in kind of under the ear into the bulk of the muscle really. And I've taken up the tension, and so I'll get her to lean her head to the side on my arm now. And I want my arm running about 45 degrees to the plane of her body. And now so start moving your head, so you take your chin. That's nice. See, you're actually opening out more, and now turn to the other side. And at the moment I can see I'm pulling you back, so I'm just going to change that as well. The muscles join to the curve of the neck. So this next one I'm going to start up. I want this contact point up by her ear, and I'm also going to be more at right angles to her body. Okay, so I'm going to put some pressure in here, and I'm going to kind of twist my arm a little bit and pull down until I feel the tissue. Now you see her head start to move? So if you watch her head, it'll start to twist slightly. That's when I've got the muscle tight, and now I'll ask her to put her ear flat down on my arm. Follow that down. And then I'm trapping the tissue there with a little bit of twist and a little bit of kind of diagonal downwards push in towards her spine. And now I'm going to just hold that there and ask her to take her right ear to her right shoulder while looking straight ahead. So see, there's a little bit of turn in her. See, she's turning away from me. So, and all of this is telling her how to move her body. I'd rather be a little bit more upright. And once we get there, I'm now going to run out, and I've changed the pressure on her other shoulder because as I'm running out along the top of the trapezius, okay, just an explanation. While I'm doing the push in, I'm meeting that with equal push, okay? Or equal pull from that hand. But if I've got a lot of pressure pulling in this hand, and then I start to pull on this, both hands are pulling in the same direction. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to get to the point that as I start to pull, I'm putting down pressure out that way on the hand as well, so she is not having to go rigid through the lower part of her body to stop her from being pulled over. Because if I'm trying to take tension out of this point and putting a whole lot of tension down in her lower spine to stop her from being pulled sideways, I'm not helping the situation at all.